Hey everyone, welcome back. It's part 2 of my things to do in Minnesota video. Now, if you are not aware, Minnesota is a huge sports state, but there's going to be a lot more to cover than just sports. We're going to be covering arts, culture, and just in general, things to do in Minnesota, especially in the Twin Cities area. So if you are new to my channel, my name is Kayla Schluter. I'm a Locker Home Group real estate agent with RE/MAX Results. And I look forward to talking to you about all the things you can do in Minnesota. All right, sports are a huge deal to Minnesota residents. And if you are a huge sports fan, this is a great state to live in. There are 6 professional sports teams: the Vikings, Twins, Wild, Timberwolves, Lynx, United Football Club, which is soccer for all those that don't know that, and even a minor league baseball team called the St. Paul Saints. Now, in addition to all these professional teams, there's also the University of Minnesota Golden Gophers, and they have a raving fan club as well. And even if you are not a huge sports fan, going and watching these teams play is a ton of fun. And I highly recommend going to at least one just for the experience. Now, if you are not a huge sports fan, there's still a ton of things to do. So let's talk about the fabulous art culture. Minneapolis is actually home to 55 museums to keep you busy. And I'm not going to name them because Google can do that for you. But if you are looking for a place to take the little ones on a budget, I just discovered the Minneapolis Institute of Art, and they have family days, which have tons of hands-on activities for the little ones. So that's a great museum to check out. In addition to museums though, Minnesota is home to amazing theaters within the Twin Cities metro, as well as all the small community theaters in the towns farther out. Now, if you love performing arts, don't forget to check out the Minnesota Fringe Festival, which is held in August. And prior to the pandemic, over 40,000 attendees filled these seats at the theaters going on at the Fringe Festival. So definitely worth checking out. But maybe music is your thing, and we have plenty of music here as well. In the Twin Cities, there are lots of music festivals. The larger ones: Basilica Block Party, Twin Cities Summer Jam, Soundset, WeFest, but there are lots of other festivals too. You can Google more if you want more. And now, aside from the music festivals, there are plenty of brick and mortar buildings where you can catch the latest musical group. One special little venue is the historical First Avenue, which Prince was one of the acts at First Avenue. So some of these bands that show up at First Ave are very popular. So it's been around since 1970, and it's a little bit of Minnesota culture for you. Definitely need to check out that brick and mortar performance area. Now, if you prefer more formal performances, check out the very talented Minnesota Orchestra. They are always impressive, and they often do some fun soundtracks too. And of course, there's always the Minnesota Opera House, which also has a talented group of performers. If you would rather listen to comedy though, one of my favorite nationally recognized dive bar comedy clubs is the Acme Comedy Club in Minneapolis. It's a great place to show up, have a couple drinks, go with some friends, and they even have some pretty cool birthday discounts in your birthday month. So check out Acme as well. All of these things make the Twin Cities truly an area rich in the arts, but we are not done. There is lots more to do in Minnesota. In Minnesota, we also love our apple orchards, corn mazes, fairs, and festivals. In the fall, it's a pretty big deal and a ton of family fun to go and support your local apple orchard. You can walk through the orchards, pick your own apples, ride on the hay wagons, and pick up a lot of tasty treats at the little on-site stores. This is one of those things you absolutely need to check out. Also, if you've never done a corn maze, these are worth trying at least once. It's really neat, and I don't know if all states have corn mazes, but definitely we do in Minnesota. Now, a couple winter festivals you can find are the Minneapolis Holidazzle and the St. Paul Winter Carnival. The Holidazzle is at the end of the year in December, and the St. Paul Carnival kicks off in the beginning of the year in January. Both of these run for about a month, and there's a wide variety of activities and sites. So these are many of the activities are free and worth checking out. I do think it's a little crazy that you can play winter softball at the St. Paul Carnival, but that is how we do it in Minnesota. Now, in the summertime, we also have festivals and fairs. In fact, most of the small towns have some sort of festival, and I highly encourage you going to these. They usually have a beer tent, some live music, and plenty of fried food. It's worth checking out these little small community festivals. Now, of course, the biggest of the fairs and the festivals is the Minnesota State Fair, which is held at the end of August and runs through Labor Day. It is by far the largest, and expect a whole lineup of world-class entertainment as it draws over 2 million people annually, which makes this for really, really great people watching. And at the fair, you can pretty much pick up anything fried on a stick. Now, speaking of food, Minnesota may be known for its casseroles or hot dishes, but if you live in the Twin Cities area, you actually can find some pretty good cultural foods. So definitely will satisfy even the pickiest foodies out there. Now, if you're eating, you may need something to wash it all down with, and that might just be beer. Minnesota loves their craft breweries, and beer dabblers are a sort of festival for beer drinkers. This is a really fun way Minnesotans show their hardiness is with the traditional annual winter beer dabbler in February. Yes, thousands of people show up in winter snow gear to stand outside when it's freezing out and drink ice cold beer, listen to music, and partake in fun activities. This particular event drew over 180 different breweries. Minnesota are diehards though, because in fact, in 2015, it was only 9 degrees and the vendors had a hard time keeping their beer lines from freezing up. Talk about a true Minnesota experience. All right, now moving on to our favorites, hunting and fishing. And if you don't do either one of these, chances are someone you know is an avid sportsman. Thus, by default, you will likely know the approximate starting time of deer hunting season or fishing opener. And in fact, when you're looking at houses to buy, don't be surprised if you run across a trophy buck deer head mounted on a wall. That sometimes catches some of my clients off guard. And fishing, of course, we do it a little different in Minnesota. In fact, we love fishing so much that we even have ice fishing. So yes, when those 10,000 lakes freeze over, we drill small holes in the ice so that we can continue to fish year around. Now, people even drive on the frozen lakes with their pickup trucks and bring little shacks, and they put heaters in there and sometimes TVs, so you can fish in luxury. Now, if you're not into museums, art, food, beer, sports, hunting, or fishing, perhaps you're just an outdoorsy person, and Minnesota has tons of great things for you too. There are plenty of outdoor activities to enjoy, such as taking a walk through the local farmers market, or the Minnesota Arboretum, or through the Minnesota Zoo. Or maybe you just check out one of the thousands of parks throughout the state for hiking, biking, skiing, snowshoeing, snowmobiling, bird watching, and all of the water sports you can do in those areas too. So let's be honest, not everyone wants to be outside all the time. If that's the case for you, head over to the Mall of America, which is the largest indoor shopping and entertainment complex in North America, with over 5.6 million square feet of indoor fun. So basically, if you are sitting around bored in Minnesota and you live anywhere near the Twin Cities, look up one of these great activities that I've mentioned and get moving. If you have a favorite one that I didn't highlight, please write it in the comments below. I am sure other people will appreciate it too. As always, if you have any real estate questions or questions about living in Minnesota, reach out. How to get a hold of me is in the description below, and thank you for watching.